Ethan is 5 years older than me, but I never call him big brother. I watch him go through one girlfriend after another, and to each one, I obediently call her sister-in-law. On my 22nd birthday, I waited all day, but Ethan didn't come. I made a wish to never like him again. After my birthday, I went downstairs to take out the trash and saw a familiar figure. It was Ethan's friend, Noah. Noah, what are you doing here? Ethan couldn't make it. He asked me to bring you a gift. Oh, thanks. What about your gift? He smiled and said, I prepared two. After you answer my question, I'll decide which one to give you. Chloe, it must be tiring to like him, right? How about trying someone else? Be my girlfriend. I looked at Noah in surprise. When did he find out I liked Ethan? I thought I had hidden it so well. I never showed a hint of jealousy in front of Ethan. Noah, I don't know what you mean. He pursed his lips, a smile on his face, but his eyes seemed a little nervous. Then let me rephrase. Chloe, I like you. I want to ask if you'll give me a chance and be my girlfriend. But he was Ethan's best friend. The first time I met Ethan, when I was 5, Noah was there. Come to think of it, I've known Noah for 17 years too. I stared at his face, suddenly remembering the wish I had made tonight. Noah couldn't help but laugh as I stared at him. Why are you looking at me like that? Am I causing you trouble? I shook my head. It wasn't trouble, just a little unexpected. Noah was different from Ethan. In all the years I've known him, I don't think I've ever seen him in a relationship. For a while, I even considered him a rival. But Ethan always had a woman by his side. At the thought of this, my heart felt a sharp prick again. After a moment of sharp pain, I looked at him and said, I just made a wish to get a boyfriend tonight, and you showed up. Noah, you must have been sent by fate. So I'll just go with the flow and be your girlfriend. Noah was taken aback, as if he hadn't expected me to actually agree. After looking at me for a while, he smiled. He turned and took out a beautifully wrapped gift box from his car. He held it out to me. This one is for my girlfriend. I opened it in front of him. It was a necklace with small diamonds, clearly very expensive. Isn't this too much? I knew his family was wealthy, but for my birthday, he usually gave me something similar to what Ethan gave, and on his birthday, I would give him something of similar value in return. Noah came over and ruffled my hair. It's for you. It's not expensive. As he got closer, the faint scent of his cologne filled my nose. It was different from Ethan's scent. His was colder, like a bitter lemon with too much ice. I quietly took a step back to create some distance. Just as I was thinking about how to return the gift, Noah's phone rang. Noah, did you deliver the gift? The night was quiet. Ethan's voice came through the receiver, along with the laughter of the girl beside him. It was all crystal clear. Yes, I did. Noah was looking at me as he spoke. I felt strangely flustered. I looked away, but my ears were still listening to the conversation on the phone. That's good. I just called Chloe, but she didn't answer. I thought she was angry. Noah let out a low chuckle. No, she was taking out the trash and didn't have her phone with her. That makes sense. She's so sweet. She never gets angry at me. Wait, how did you know she didn't have her phone? Is she with you? Let me talk to her. I immediately turned back, afraid that Noah would hand me the phone. I had just agreed to be his girlfriend, and now he was asking me to talk to Ethan. It was just too awkward. To my surprise, Noah turned around and lowered his voice. It's not convenient for her to talk right now. If you have anything to say, just tell me, and I'll pass it on. Then wish her a happy birthday and hope she finds a boyfriend this year. Every time I take her out to eat, I have to explain that she's not my girlfriend to avoid any misunderstandings. Ethan's teasing voice, casually mentioning my awkward situation. I clenched my fists, my nails digging into my palms. Noah let out a low laugh. That won't happen anymore. Ethan was silent for 2 seconds. Then his voice turned cold. What do you mean? Is she dating someone? Noah stepped forward, his free hand taking mine. I was taken aback and tried to pull away, but he held on tight, our fingers intertwined. Noah looked down into my eyes and said in a low voice, yes, she's with me now. She's my girlfriend. If you have nothing else to say, you can hang up. After hanging up, Noah didn't let go of my hand. Do you have any plans for tomorrow? I stared at the ground and whispered, no. Then I'll pick you up tomorrow. It's pretty cold tonight. You should go up. I nodded, when he let go of my hand. I ran upstairs as if I were escaping. Noah called out from behind me, Chloe, you're not going to back out, are you? I stopped but didn't dare to turn back. No, that's good. If you do, I'll have to be very persistent. My face flushed. I walked into the elevator without looking back. Back home, I saw that I had a missed call from Ethan, and many messages. Happy birthday, Chloe, I'm busy out of town. Noah was passing by your place, so I asked him to bring you the gift. Are you with him? When did this happen? Why didn't you tell me? I've never seen you talk to him much. How did you two start dating? Did he pursue you? And you were too shy to say no. Don't be scared. I'll go talk to him for you. I looked at the messages. My heart felt heavy. I couldn't quite describe the feeling. The pleasure of revenge, guilt towards Noah, or was it unwillingness, a sense of grievance? After a long deliberation, I replied with a simple, yes. Ethan immediately sent a voice call request, but I didn't want to answer, so I declined. Ethan then sent another message. Chloe, have you really thought this through? I have. I don't want to like you anymore. Ethan's message popped up again. Do you like him? I don't know. The Noah I knew was always a little distant at parties, but his handsome face and cool demeanor often attracted attention. Tonight, he was the one who confessed. I was surprised and a little scared. Now that I've calmed down, I also feel that agreeing to be with him was a bit impulsive, but Noah might not be a bad choice. Ethan, not getting a reply, called again. I accidentally answered. Chloe, are you really with Noah? Ethan's voice on the phone was full of anxiety, so he can get flustered too. I let out a low, Then I heard him curse in frustration. Did Noah force you? That bastard. He knows you're my sister, and he still made a move. Chloe, you don't have to be afraid of him. I'll go talk to him. I cut him off. I'm not afraid of him. He said he likes me, so I agreed. And you never said you liked me, so why are you so angry? Ethan's anger suddenly vanished. Then came the sound of something shattering. A woman's frightened voice came from beside him. She screamed and asked him what was wrong. I suddenly felt that all my complicated emotions had disappeared. Ethan belonged to any woman, but he could never belong to me. I should have seen that long ago. I looked at the necklace Noah had given me. I said softly, Ethan, I thought you would wish me well. I used to call him by his full name, Ethan. He even said I was impolite. Why was it? Noah, when I called Noah, but now, when I called him, Big Brother, he was unhappy. A rustling sound came from the other end. Ethan's voice was tight. Chloe, wait for me. I'm coming back now. We'll talk in person. The call ended. A message from Noah came through at the same time. Chloe, if Ethan comes back to find you, please don't be soft-hearted. Okay, give me some face, even if it's just for a week. I imagined what Noah's expression would be as he said that. Probably a little helpless, and a little doting. I couldn't help but smile. I replied with a simple, okay. The next day, at around 9, Noah called to ask if I was up. I hadn't fully woken up yet. What is it? Noah. I heard a soft chuckle from the other end. You forgot after just one night's sleep. I suddenly remembered that I had agreed to go on a date with him last night. I shot up. I didn't forget. I'm getting up now. Noah's smile deepened. It's okay. No rush. Just let me know when you're ready. After hanging up, my heart was pounding. I covered my face in regret. In the past, when I met with Noah, Ethan was always there. Oh, right. Speaking of Ethan, he said he was coming back to find me today. The more I thought about it, the more chaotic it became. I don't know what got into him. He was so agitated when he heard I was with Noah. He didn't even like me. Why did he care who I was with? And I had heard a woman's voice beside him on the phone last night. I composed myself and set Ethan's WeChat to do not disturb. I forced myself not to think about him. Since I had already agreed to be with Noah, I should be more focused. By the time I was dressed and downstairs, I saw Noah's car parked there. His tall figure was leaning against the car door. He was wearing a cashmere coat, his posture lazy and casual. His indifferent face broke into a smile the moment he saw me. He walked towards me. Noah, I'm sorry, I overslept. He let out a soft, So how are you going to make it up to me? I didn't expect him to say that and was stunned. Well, can I treat you to a meal? He smiled and took my hand. Sure, but I'd rather you agree to another condition. Although I didn't know what condition Noah would propose. Being late for a first date was indeed impolite. I had no choice but to agree. Okay, tell me, as long as I can do it. Let's change the way you address me. Don't call me Noah. Then what should I call you? Just Noah. After he said that, he looked down at me. His face was filled with a hint of expectation. I repeated the name, Noah, in my mind, just as I was about to say it. It felt like it would burn my tongue. Noah. My voice was as small as it could be, but Noah still heard it. The smile on his lips deepened. He replied very seriously, yes, I'm here. Putting our relationship aside, Noah's face, when he smiled, was incredibly charming. Especially when you knew that his smile was because of you. It was even more embarrassing. I blushed and changed the subject. Let's go eat. I'm hungry. Noah didn't say another word and took my hand. He seemed to like holding hands with our fingers intertwined. Last night, when I agreed to be with him, he had held my hand like this, but I wasn't used to it. After dinner, Noah took me to an art exhibition. Noah, aren't you on a business trip? If your company is busy, we don't have to go to the exhibition. You can go back first. Noah's family wanted him to go back and manage the family business, but he said that before he turned 30, he wanted to start his own business first. In the past, whenever there was a gathering, he would only stay for a little while. He would be on the phone or answering emails the whole time. In my impression, he was a CEO who was busier than a bee, but today, during dinner, he hadn't looked at his phone once, and now he was taking me to an art exhibition. To my surprise, Noah casually said that he had already taken care of his company's affairs last night. Today, his time was all mine. I blushed and pretended to be calm. Noah, I'm not a child. You don't have to be with me. Oh, well, I'm a child. I need you to be with me. Help. My face was burning even more. On the way to the art exhibition, Ethan called. I hesitated whether to answer. Noah glanced at my phone. Answer it. It might be something urgent. I thought about it and decided against it. What could be so urgent? To my surprise, the next second, Noah's phone rang. It was Ethan. Noah looked at me. Should I answer? I immediately looked away. It's up to you. You don't have to ask me. Then I won't answer either. He was bothering me all last night. So Ethan hadn't only called me last night. He was probably drunk. He's always so talkative when he's drunk. I muttered under my breath, but Noah took it to heart. I'm a good drunk. I just go to sleep. Of course, most of the time, I don't drink. Although he was telling the truth, I felt a little strange. Was he comparing his drinking habits with Ethan's? What was there to compare? Ethan kept calling, one after another. I simply turned on airplane mode on my phone. When we left the art exhibition, it was already getting dark. Noah dropped me off downstairs. The car stopped. I unbuckled my seatbelt, thinking I would just say goodbye and go home, but the car doors were locked. I looked at Noah, confused. The small light in the car turned on, illuminating his sharp profile, making it look gentle. Noah turned his head and stared at me. In his dark eyes, there was a depth I couldn't understand. Well, I'm home now. I'll go back first. Noah blinked. Can we stay for another 5 minutes? Fine, just 5 minutes, so I'll just sit for a little longer. I sat up straight, waiting for the time to pass. Noah suddenly reached out and turned on the music. Listening to music is good too. Otherwise, sitting here for 5 minutes would be quite awkward. The intro to the song Noah chose was very nice. If it weren't for his scorching gaze distracting me, I would have calmed down and enjoyed it. As my mind was wandering, Noah suddenly unbuckled his seatbelt. Click. It was crystal clear. My whole body tensed up instantly. That familiar scent of cologne was getting closer and closer. Noah took my hand and caressed it from my fingertips to my palm. My whole body was numb, as if I had been electrocuted. I even forgot to pull my hand back. Chloe, I want to kiss you. With a boom, fireworks exploded in my head. When Noah let go of me, the music just happened to end. 5 minutes. Besides the 40-second intro, he had kissed me for a full 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I tried to catch my breath, but my heart was pounding in my chest. Noah's eyes never left me, and I was too shy to even look up at him. Chloe, thank you for agreeing to be my girlfriend. Today was the happiest day of my life. I replied in a whisper. Yes, from now on, our relationship will be like just now. You can call a stop at any time. Noah's voice was low and gentle. I remembered just now, when he had leaned over. The distance between us was so close our breaths intertwined. His nose had gently brushed against my cheek, and he had used the same tone to whisper in my ear. I've been wanting to kiss you since I saw you this morning. So, if you want to refuse, you can call a stop at any time. I closed my eyes nervously, until a warm kiss landed gently on my lips. Seeing that I didn't refuse, Noah's initially tentative kiss gradually became more passionate, like a plunder, leaving my mind blank, completely led by his rhythm. This time, I didn't even want to say yes. I just listened to Noah talk to himself. But I secretly hope that you will be like just now, never calling a stop, never refusing me. Noah took my hand and walked me upstairs. I didn't say a word the whole time. To my surprise, when the elevator doors opened, I saw Ethan leaning against my apartment door. There were a lot of cigarette butts on the floor. I don't know how long he had been waiting. I looked at him in surprise. I thought he was just saying he would come find me. Ethan seemed to have not slept all night. He looked a little haggard. When he saw our clasped hands, His face darkened. Chloe, come here. In the past, if he had come to find me alone, I would have gone to him without him even asking. I would have hidden my excitement and asked him what brought him here. But today, I was frozen to the spot. I didn't move. And I didn't say a word. I didn't want to go. I had already made a wish not to like him anymore. And I had agreed to be with Noah, no matter what reason Ethan had for finding me. I didn't want to care anymore. When Ethan saw me pretending to be deaf and dumb, he started to panic. Chloe, be good. Come here. Noah shielded me behind him and looked at him. Ethan, if you have something to say to Chloe, just say it. We don't consider you an outsider. As soon as he said that, Ethan laughed in anger. Consider me an outsider. Noah, what's my relationship with Chloe? Don't you know, you bastard? Of all people to mess with, you're messing with Chloe right under my nose. Noah clicked his tongue. You and Chloe, haven't you always treated her like a sister? And, I like Chloe. I'm pursuing her seriously, for a long-term relationship. I'm not just playing around. I stood by, silent. Ethan was speechless, a flicker of anger in his eyes. He grabbed Noah's collar and was about to throw a punch. Ethan, I quickly shouted to stop him. Ethan heard me call him, his arm frozen mid-air, and he turned to look at me. What did you call me? I held Noah's hand tightly and looked back at Ethan. Ethan, can you please stop making a scene? This is my first date, and I want to have a good memory. Noah is right. You've always introduced me to others as your sister. Ethan let go of his hand, and his figure swayed. He looked at me with disbelief. Chloe, what did you call him? When I was 5, I saw Ethan for the first time. He smiled and said I had grown taller. I shyly hid behind my mother and heard him say, I'm your big brother. Ethan, I even held you when you were little. You were so small then, like a doll. Don't you remember? I stared at his face, trying to recall the scene he described. I had no memory of it. My mother said I was too young then to remember. She pushed me over to play with Ethan. Ethan took my hand and showed me his room. I kept looking back at my mother. Her eyes were red, but she forced a smile and waved at me, telling me to go and play. Ethan's hand was warm. I hadn't played with other kids in a long time. I got carried away, and by the time I came downstairs, my mother was gone. I cried and wanted to find my mother. Ethan's mother hugged me and said my mother had something to do. She would come to pick me up in a few days. Ethan also comforted me, saying I was a big girl now and couldn't always cling to my mother. He would be with me. If I was bored, he could call his friends over, and the three of us could play together. That night, Ethan slept with me. He said he would wait with me for my mother to come back, and so I waited for 10 years. In those 10 years, Ethan would always take me with him when he went out to play. Ethan's first love was in the summer of his sophomore year of high school. My mother asked me to go to his house for tutoring during the summer vacation. I went to find him with my math test paper. The door was unlocked. A strange sound came from inside. I gently pushed the door open a crack. I saw Ethan pressing a girl against the desk, kissing her. They were so engrossed in their kiss that they didn't even notice me. I was so scared I froze on the spot. I turned and ran, but I accidentally bumped into a picture on the wall. Ethan chased after me. There was a bite mark on his lips, and his eyes were filled with a helpless smile. Chloe has to keep a secret for her big brother. Okay. I stared at his face and nodded slightly. Ethan was handsome and knew how to charm girls. He had a constant stream of girlfriends, and his hand never held mine again. Later, every time Ethan had a new girlfriend, he would bring her to see me, nonchalantly pointing at me and saying, "This is my sister," and I would obediently call the girl sister-in-law. Then I would take a closer look at her, to see what was most beautiful about her. Sure enough, Ethan's taste never changed. His girlfriends were always fair-skinned, with good figures, and very feminine, and in his eyes, I was always the little sister who hadn't grown up, who would cry. It took me a lot of determination to give up on liking him. Why did he have to come find me? Ethan, my hand is already being held. I looked at Ethan and said flatly, "If you've had enough, you can go back. You're a grown man, and fighting is so ugly." Ethan took a step back and leaned against the wall, looking lost. I let go of Noah's hand. "You should go back too. I had a great time today. See you tomorrow." Noah ruffled my hair, his smile gentle. "Okay, get some sleep. If you can't sleep, you can always call me." He always seemed to be able to read my emotions so easily. He could even predict that I would be sleepless tonight. I let out a soft, and closed the door. In the hallway, the smile on Noah's face slowly faded as I disappeared from view. He turned, tilted his head, and looked at Ethan. His gaze was not exactly contemptuous, but it was certainly not friendly. "Ethan, for old time's sake, I advise you to stop. Ethan slowly looked up. Stop. That word should be used on you. Noah, Chloe grew up with us. Don't you know her family's situation? Or are you confident that your family will accept Chloe? Noah's brow furrowed, and a chill emanated from him. He glanced at Ethan and curled his lip. I'm not like you, just looking for a moment of pleasure. Since I could wait until now to confess, I must have already paved the way. Ethan frowned. Don't you forget, your father has already arranged a marriage for you. Noah let out a soft scoff. His arrangement needs my consent. We've known each other for so long. It seems you still don't know me well enough. Ethan felt a strange sense of panic. Of course he knew that Noah had always been a determined person. He would go to any length to get what he wanted. In the past, when they were joking around, Ethan had even said that Noah wasn't just cold on the outside, but also on the inside. In his eyes, there was only profit and loss. So, he had never thought that Noah would make a move on Chloe. Chloe was different in Ethan's heart. She was pure and obedient. Whenever Ethan looked back, Chloe's eyes would always be on him. He wasn't unaware that Chloe would have to date someone eventually. He had even asked her about it. What did she say then? Oh, she said she didn't like other boys. After saying that, she had looked at him with her water-like eyes. A strange ripple stirred in Ethan's heart. He came closer and confronted Noah. The tense atmosphere completely erupted when Ethan saw the small cut on Noah's lower lip. What the hell did you do to her? Ethan's rage was within Noah's expectations. He was being held by the collar by Ethan, but he had no intention of fighting back. Instead, he raised his hand and gently touched the cut. Then he laughed. What are you pretending for? You've played around so much. Haven't you ever been bitten by a girlfriend? After I went back to my room, I immediately went to the bathroom to take a bath. This was my way of stressing. I would soak myself in warm water, turn on some music, and just zone out. Ethan's gaze today made me very uneasy. His anger came out of nowhere. From his words, I could tell. He wasn't back to find me because he was jealous. It was just that he felt that Noah was his good friend, and for Noah to be with me, without him knowing, had made him lose face. I buried my face in the water, holding my breath until my head was spinning. Then I came up for air. I took a deep breath of fresh air. Let's just forget about the troubles from just now. Don't get worked up over one of Ethan's expressions, one of his careless words. Give your time and attention back to yourself. I should ask myself if I was happy today. When I was wiping my face, the toner stung my lips. The real pain pulled me back to the memory. I remembered the lingering kiss in the car, and when Noah finally stopped, he had rested his forehead against mine and said, Chloe, this was my first kiss. Was my technique really bad? How would I know? I didn't have any experience either. Noah in a relationship was a completely different person from the one I knew. I covered my hot face and told myself, since I've already agreed, just enjoy it. Anyway, he said I could call a stop at any time. After taking a shower, I had several messages on my phone, some from Noah, some from Ethan. I hadn't replied to Ethan's messages all day. I clicked on them and saw that he had sent me a bunch of messages. First, he asked where I was, why I wasn't answering my phone. The latest few were his apologies. Chloe, I was scared to face your feelings before. I always felt like I wasn't good enough for you, but I never thought I would lose you so quickly. Are you with Noah just to make me angry? Can you give me a chance? Noah and I can compete fairly. I will never ignore you again. My heart felt sour, and my eyes welled up. I almost cried. What was there to apologize for? I have already forgiven the me who liked you for 7 years. As for fairness, there is no fairness in love. I won't ask you to give as much as I do, and you shouldn't expect that just because you're being a little nice to me, I'll come back. I didn't reply to Ethan's message. I opened my chat with Noah. He had sent me a photo. It was taken on his sofa at home. He had probably just showered. His hair was still wet, and he was wearing pajamas, his chest muscles peeking out. I blushed, thinking he was doing it on purpose, but when I looked closer, there was a red and swollen patch on his chin, which was particularly noticeable on his fair skin. I quickly typed, "Did you guys fight?" My phone kept showing, typing. After waiting for a long time, no message came. I got anxious and called him. He answered pretty quickly. "What happened to your face? Did Ethan hit you?" Noah leaned closer, his handsome features magnified on the screen. He touched his nose, trying to be evasive. "Just a small disagreement. It's fine. Your face is bruised, and you're saying it's fine." Noah turned slightly, so that only the uninjured side of his face was facing the camera. His voice was low. "Chloe, don't look. I'm not good looking anymore." "Me? Is this about being good looking or not? When you two were fighting, Why didn't you consider that you might get bruised? I told him to apply medicine properly and was about to hang up. Noah said anxiously, Chloe, are you going to go check on him? I don't know why he would think that. Noah's eyes were downcast, but he still tried to be generous. I know you'll still worry about him. It's okay. As long as your first call was to me. I couldn't stand his pitiful look. He was like a little wife who had been bullied but didn't dare to fight back. Noah, I'm going to find Ethan, but not to check on him. I want to ask him why he hit my boyfriend. Noah looked up, a smile he couldn't contain on his lips. Chloe, you're so good to me. I'm going to put on medicine right now. I sighed in exasperation. I had never seen this side of Noah before, so prone to jealousy and acting cute. I took a deep breath and called Ethan's number again. Chloe. His voice was full of surprise. From the noisy music in the background, I could tell he was probably at a bar again. Ethan, I have something to tell you. Okay, wait a second. Soon. Ethan found a quiet place. He was out of breath and asked me impatiently, Chloe, you're finally willing to talk to me. Were you mad at me because I didn't come to your birthday yesterday? I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you next year. Ethan, I called his name coldly. Why did you hit Noah? You've been friends for so many years. You don't have to turn against each other just because I'm with him. Right. As soon as I mentioned Noah, Ethan's breathing became heavy. He told on me. I was injured too. Why don't you care about me? Does Noah even consider me a friend? He's had dirty thoughts about you for a long time. Don't be fooled by him. Chloe, listen to me. Break up with him. You two won't have a future. I sighed deeply and asked him, Ethan, when you were with those other girls, did you ever think about having a future with them? He was suddenly speechless. If Noah didn't have feelings for me, why would he pursue me? I've never been in a relationship, but I'm not stupid. When Noah confessed to me, he said that I could call a stop at any time. He respected me in every way and prioritized my feelings. As he said, all I had to do was enjoy the happiness he brought me in this relationship. Did the result matter? It didn't. For 7 years, I had a crush on Ethan, and I never even got a single "I like you" from him. For 10 years, I waited for an apology from my mother, and she never explained why she had left without a word. So, Ethan, I want to have a good relationship for once, preferably with someone who loves me more. So please, don't bother me. You're not short of one person's affection. After I made my point, I hung up without waiting for Ethan's reply. After that night, Ethan calmed down a lot. My relationship with Noah also became closer day by day. He was a qualified lover. He always took care of my emotions. With him, I didn't have to be so careful. The day before the winter break, Noah kissed me in the car for a long time and wouldn't let go. He buried his face in my shoulder and said in a muffled voice, Can I really not come to see you during the winter break? It's 20 days. How am I going to get through it? I couldn't help but laugh. You've gotten through it all these years. You can't handle 20 days. Noah was being playful and hugged my waist. Back then, I was just imagining what it would be like to hold you. Now that I have, it's so hard to resist. His words made me blush. I pushed him away. That's enough. You go back and spend the new year with your uncle and aunt. I'll call you. Noah looked up and into my eyes. Then you can kiss me one more time. I couldn't stand his gaze, but the thought of being apart for 20 days made my heart soften. I raised my hand and covered his eyes, then lowered my head and kissed his lips. After the holiday started, my mother was still not home most of the day. Sometimes I would only see her once every 2 or 3 days. Fortunately, I had long since learned not to rely on anyone. Noah would call me every day, sometimes for half an hour, sometimes for just a few minutes. He said I didn't miss him, that I never initiated contact. I would just smile and listen to him being playful. Today, my mother came home unusually early. I was lying on the sofa reading. The first thing she said when she came in was whether I had cooked. I went to the kitchen to make her some dumplings. Then I heard her say her second sentence. Tomorrow, you buy some things and go to the Ethan family's house. Have Ethan pick you up. I turned on the gas stove. Click. At the same time, I also replied, No need, I can take a taxi myself. My mother didn't hear me and raised her voice. What did you say? I didn't want to shout, so I walked out of the kitchen and repeated myself. I said, I can go myself. No need to call him to pick me up. My mother stared at me. The beautiful eyes I remembered now had many wrinkles around them. Her once gentle gaze had become a sharp scrutiny. I turned back to the kitchen and heard her let out a sudden laugh from behind. Had a fight with Ethan. I froze, feeling the hairs on the back of my neck stand up as she stared at me. No, I just don't want to bother anyone. I thought my tone was very normal when I said that. There was no hint of awkwardness, but my mother still found out. You used to run to the Ethan family's house as soon as you came back for the holidays. You would be grinning from ear to ear whenever you saw Ethan. How many days has it been since you came back this time? You've just been cooped up at home reading. Something must be up with you too. Her confident tone inexplicably annoyed me. Don't make wild guesses. There's nothing between him and me, but my mother just sneered. Chloe, when I left you at the Ethan family's house, living with Ethan, I didn't expect you to be so useless. Ethan's girlfriends have been a revolving door. How come it's never been your turn? It seemed like everyone knew my secret, except for Ethan, and now I was being mocked by my own mother. I stared at the blue flames on the stove. I just felt the anger in my heart burning hotter and hotter. My mother was still nagging. I advise you to step up your game. That Ethan kid is as wild as his name suggests. If you can't hold on to him, you'll have a hard time finding someone with better conditions. Don't be so passive. Men all like it when you're proactive. I'll have Ethan pick you up later. You can take a pair of stockings from my closet, change into a skirt, and dress up a little to humor him. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. The steam was rising. The water was about to boil over. The round dumplings were tumbling in the pot. In a few more minutes, the dumplings would be cooked. With a snap, I turned off the heat. I started to wonder, was she really my mother? Was she swapped out after she left me when I was 5? Why couldn't I see any of the love she used to have for me? I scooped out the half-cooked dumplings. I brought them to the dining table. That was quick. What kind are they? I stared at her back for a while and said coldly, Mom, there's nothing between Ethan and me. Don't talk about it anymore. How could my mother listen to me? When I was drawing in my room with my headphones on, Ethan was already at my house. The lock on my bedroom door had been broken by my mother during our last fight and couldn't be locked. When Ethan stood silently behind me, I was really startled. What are you doing here? Ethan saw my panicked look and gave a bitter smile. Your aunt asked me to pick you up. I called you a few times but no one answered, so I came in to see. Did I scare you? I'm sorry. Since we had talked things through last time, I hadn't seen Ethan. In just over a month, he had lost a lot of weight. His former arrogance was now replaced by a look of dejection. Uncle and Aunt Ethan have been very kind to me. I always have to go see them during the holidays. We'll even be eating at the same table. So, I didn't want to make things too ugly with Ethan. It's fine. You don't have to apologize. You can wait for me outside. I'll be ready in a minute. I put on a long black down jacket. Didn't even bother to wash my hair. Just put on a hat and went out. On the way, Ethan kept looking at me in the rearview mirror. He was probably unhappy that I wasn't sitting in the passenger seat. I was looking down at my phone the whole way. When I saw a funny video, I would even laugh out loud. I was completely treating Ethan as a driver. As we were getting close to his house, it suddenly started to sleet. Ethan slowed down. He asked me, "Are you chatting with him?" I replied without looking up, "Yes." I knew he was talking about Noah, but I wasn't messaging Noah. If he knew I was in Ethan's car right now, he would definitely be jealous. It would be hard to soothe him. It would take a few kisses to make him feel better. Ethan gripped the steering wheel tightly, his voice hoarse. "Chloe, please listen to me, just this once. Break up with Noah. His family has already arranged a marriage for him. If you get too deep, he'll leave you at any time. You won't be able to handle it." I stared out the window, silent. Ethan suddenly pulled over to the side of the road, got out, and came to the back seat. As soon as his scent got close, I instinctively tried to move away, but Ethan was crazy. He grabbed my shoulders and begged in a low, hoarse voice, "Chloe, believe me, I won't hurt you." "Ethan, let go of me." A dull pain shot through my shoulder. I couldn't break free. Ethan was holding on so tightly it was as if he was afraid I would run away if he let go. "Chloe, I was wrong before. I always pretended not to see your feelings. Please forgive me. Okay, we can be like we were before. No, this time, I'll be the one to like you. You can ignore me all you want." As he spoke, he suddenly leaned in and kissed me desperately. I turned my head away with all my might. His kiss landed on the base of my ear. I finally couldn't hold it in anymore and burst into tears. "Ethan, don't make me hate you." Ethan was on top of me, not moving. I couldn't stop crying. Fear and anger made my whole body tremble. In this moment, I missed Noah's clean and warm embrace so much. He would never force me. Every time he kissed me, he would ask for my permission. Perhaps he was teasing me, but when I said no, he really did respect me and didn't force me. Ethan saw how much I was crying and finally let me go. He looked like he had been drained of his soul. He sat beside me, dejected, and ran a hand through his hair. "I'm sorry, Chloe, I'm a bastard." My hands and feet were still weak. I struggled to move to the car window, wanting to open the door. When Ethan saw this, he pressed my hand down. I screamed at him to get away. I raised my hand and slapped him. It landed squarely on his face. Ethan had been surrounded by people who adored him his whole life. When had he ever been slapped? I was at my wit's end and cried, shouting at him, "Don't you kid yourself anymore. You can't do it. I've waited for you for 7 years. Can you? You even got angry and hit him when you saw me holding hands with Noah. If Noah and I were to do something more intimate, you would only be crazier. But back then, you were on dates with different girls, even kissing them in front of me. You can never imagine what that feels like. Ethan, I can't always be watching your back, waiting for you to turn around. You will regret it, and I will wake up. Let me go. I just want to live my own life." Ethan looked at me deeply, his eyes gradually turning red, his Adam's apple trembled. After a long time, he finally choked out, "Okay." I thought he had finally understood, but then he said, "I'll wait until you break up." After sending the gift to the Ethan family's house, my aunt insisted on me staying for dinner. I refused, lying that my boyfriend was coming to pick me up. Actually, I hadn't told Noah at all, but when my aunt heard this, she was very surprised. She turned to Ethan and asked, "Chloe is dating someone. Who is it? Do you know, Ethan? Have you helped Chloe check him out?" He had barely spoken since he walked in the door. Even a blind person could see he was in a bad mood. At that moment, he answered without turning his head, in a muffled voice, "Yes, she is. You know him, the one from the Noah family." Ethan's aunt was taken aback for a moment. Then she reacted, "Noah." Now, even Ethan's uncle was looking at me. I was so embarrassed I didn't know where to put my hands and feet. I just wanted to leave as soon as possible. It was Ethan who saved me. He stood up and picked up our coats. "All right, you two stop asking. I'll take her to the station. The snow will be heavier later, and it will be hard to get around." The snow outside was getting heavier and heavier. When we reached the station, Ethan grabbed an umbrella. "He's not coming to pick you up, is he?" I nodded slightly. "Yes, because I didn't tell him I was at your house." Ethan hesitated. "Chloe, he's not here. Can I take you?" "No need. I'll be there in a bit." I was afraid he would be like just now. I didn't even want to take the umbrella and was about to leave. Ethan took a long stride and caught up to me, grabbing my arm. "Take the umbrella. You'll get wet." The snowflakes fell on the umbrella with a rustling sound. Ethan stood in the snow, his eyes red from the cold. "Chloe, please don't be so scared of me. Okay, even if you don't like me anymore, don't avoid me. Greet me when we meet, like we used to. Don't pretend you don't know me, okay?" I stared at the ground and said very softly, "Okay." When I entered the station, I closed the umbrella. I looked back outside. In the snowy weather, Ethan was still standing by the car. A layer of snow had fallen on his shoulders, but he didn't move. I looked away and let out a long sigh. My heart felt heavy. I missed Noah a little. By the time I got home, it was already dark. My phone had been quiet all day. I hesitated several times whether to call Noah, but then I thought, he didn't call me, so he was probably busy. It's better not to bother him. I slept soundly. The next day when I woke up, there were still no messages on my phone. The picture I had posted of the snow on my social media, Noah hadn't liked it either. A strange sense of unease started to grow in my heart. Did something happen to Noah? All sorts of guesses troubled me all day. In the evening, the heavy snow had blocked the roads. My mother was out playing mahjong and hadn't come back. The house was still just me. I suddenly really wanted to see Noah. This was the first time I had ever initiated a call to him, but he didn't answer. I told myself it was fine. He must be too busy. But as the sky turned completely dark, I started to panic. Besides Ethan, I had no way of finding out about Noah. Ethan was very surprised that I had called him. "Chloe, what's wrong?" His voice was filled with undisguised excitement. When I asked about Noah, he quickly became dejected. "Oh, he's not at the company. He went back to his family's old house. The Noah family has arranged a marriage for him. It was originally planned to be announced at the end of the year. Noah is tied up now." It took me a while to understand what he meant. Noah was getting married, but from beginning to end, he had never said a word to me about it. Ethan sighed softly. "Chloe, I told you, you two can't have a future." "Okay, I know." I quickly hung up and curled up on the sofa. My heart felt like it had a hole in it. All the cold wind from outside was blowing through. No wonder he said I could call a stop at any time. It turns out this relationship was really not up to him. It was so painful, but I couldn't cry. I stared into space for a while and sent Noah a message. "Noah, let's break up." I covered myself with a blanket and fell asleep on the sofa, until my phone vibrated in the middle of the night and woke me up. I groggily answered the phone. I heard a low voice on the other end. Miss, hello, I'm Mr. Noah's secretary. I'm sorry to bother you. Is Mr. Noah with you? At his question, the hairs on my body stood on end. You mean Noah? He's not here, the other person said. I'm sorry to have bothered you. And then hung up. My heart was pounding, forgetting about the breakup message I had just sent him. I called Noah several more times. Thank goodness, he finally answered. Chloe, my tense nerves, the moment I heard his voice, snapped. Noah, where have you been? Why didn't you answer my calls? Even if you're getting married, you don't have to play the disappearing act and scare me like this, right? I never said I blamed you. It's just a breakup. We can just say goodbye properly. As I spoke, I couldn't help but choke up. Noah was silent on the other end. After a long time, I heard him sigh. Who said we're breaking up? I don't agree. I've been driving for over 10 hours. I'm so tired. Baby, turn on the light and stand by the window. Let me see you. Okay. I was taken aback. I turned to look at the window. Without even turning on the light, I ran to the window barefoot. A vast expanse of white. A black Maybach was parked downstairs. The street lights were dim. Noah was standing by the car, looking up in my direction. On the phone, Noah laughed. I see you. My fatigue is gone. My nose stung, and I almost cried. I ran downstairs without a care in the world. I didn't even have time to hang up. Noah heard my hurried footsteps and said in a gentle voice, It's cold downstairs. Don't come down. I couldn't help but lose my temper at him. You know it's cold, and you still drove over. As soon as I reached the first floor, I saw Noah striding towards me. He opened his arms to me, and I threw myself into his embrace. The chill from his coat instantly enveloped me. I hugged his waist and complained in a low voice. Didn't I tell you not to come find me? With such heavy snow, what if something happened on the road? Noah lowered his head and nuzzled my hair. His cool lips landed on my face, light and gentle. But I missed you too much. I let go and looked up at him. Did you receive my message? Noah opened the chat box. You mean this one? I nodded. In front of me, he deleted the breakup message. He said nonchalantly, I took a shortcut, but there was no signal on the road, so I missed my girlfriend's call. I really deserve to be punished. Noah took my hand and gently slapped his own face with it. I quickly pulled my hand back. He couldn't be so playful. It's no use even if you delete it. I already know. Your family has arranged a marriage for you, and they're pressuring you to get married. Noah frowned slightly and sighed with exasperation. TSK. Ethan must have told you. It wasn't a question, but a statement. I knew he was up to no good. He hit me last time, and now he's trying to sabotage me from behind. It's my fault. I didn't want you to misunderstand, so I didn't tell you. The marriage was arranged by my family, and they want me to go back and help with the family business, but I refused. I have my own career and my own love. Once I've made a decision, I won't change it easily, unless you say you don't want me anymore. I was taken aback. He could delete my breakup message in front of me. In the future, even if I said I didn't want him anymore, he would definitely find some other way to play dumb and pretend not to see. But your secretary even called me. Noah's expression tightened, and his voice turned a few degrees colder. He's my father's man. I'll deal with him. So that was it. After knowing that he had no intention of hiding it from me, I quietly breathed a sigh of relief. Noah gently tickled my palm, our fingers slowly intertwining. Chloe, you have to believe me. I've waited so long for you to give up on him. How could I possibly let you go so easily? I lowered my eyes and looked at his pants, which were soaked with snow. I whispered, I know. Are you cold? Do you want to come to my place for a while? Noah's eyes lit up. Can I meet your parents so soon? But it's too late today. I'll come visit another day. What are you thinking? My parents aren't home. Noah's lips curved upwards. Oh, then I definitely can't go in. I'll find a hotel and stay there for the night. I've been driving all day. I'm so tired. Can my baby hug me again? He wrapped his long arms around me and pulled me into his embrace again. I couldn't stand him being so affectionate. As soon as he showed a hint of weakness, my heart would soften. I gathered my courage and said, Then, I'll go with you. Noah's body stiffened, and his voice was low and hoarse. You want to stay with me? I buried my face in his chest, my ears burning. Yes, I miss you too. Noah didn't say anything, just held me tighter. The house was dark and empty. I was always alone. Noah's warm embrace and scent made me feel safe. I thought, as long as he's always good to me, I will never be the one to call a stop to this relationship. Noah stayed at the hotel for 2 days. After the roads were cleared, he had to leave. I was saying goodbye to him on the side of the road. He was sitting in the car, looking at me with puppy, dog eyes. I want to take you with me. Alright, the holiday will be over in a few days, but I'm already missing you, and I haven't even left yet. This man, with his cold and handsome face, would say such heart-fluttering things with a straight face. Can't we just call, hurry up and go, drive slowly? Noah's car had just driven a short distance when it suddenly stopped. I saw him push open the car door and run straight towards me. What? He pulled me into his arms. Before I could finish my sentence, he kissed me. It was a fierce and urgent kiss. I was so flustered. We were on a public road. What if someone I knew saw us? Noah pulled away, breathing heavily. His voice was raspy beyond recognition. Wait for me. No, I'll wait for you. When you graduate, I'll propose. If you don't want to say yes, I'll keep waiting for you, until I'm old and gray, and no one wants me, then I'll cry and cling to you. His words made me laugh. The little bit of sadness from our parting was all gone. Moral blackmail. Huh, sorry, I don't have a moral compass. He leaned in and pecked my lips again. That's good, I don't either. After a few more minutes of fooling around, I finally managed to get him to leave. I watched his car merge into the traffic. I turned to go home, but the smile on my face vanished when I saw Ethan. What are you doing here? Ethan's face was pale. You saw all of that. He didn't say anything, just stared at me. I didn't want to get entangled with him anymore. I'm leaving. I deliberately walked around him, but he still grabbed my arm. Ethan, let go. Does your aunt know? She doesn't need to. So you're not planning on making it public? I looked at him calmly. Ethan, I'm not saying this because I know my mom. If she knew about Noah's family, she would be desperate to marry me off. Just like when she left me at your house to be fostered, hoping I could win you over, so she could be free. I don't owe her anything, and I don't owe you anything. From now on, what happens between me and Noah is no one else's business. So please, don't cause me any trouble. His eyes turned red, and he slowly let go, seeing his dejected look. I wanted to say a few words to him, but I was afraid of giving him the wrong idea. Goodbye, Ethan. With that, I turned and walked away decisively. My phone buzzed in my pocket twice. It was a message from Noah. Baby, will you miss me? I'm already starting to miss you. And a little dog wiping its tears emoji. I pursed my lips and smiled, then replied to him on my phone. Don't look at your phone while you're driving. I didn't tell him that I felt the same way, that I was already missing him before he had even left, because the future was still long. There was no rush. Extended scene. After I got home, I was surprised to find my mother there. She was sitting on the sofa, her legs crossed, watching TV. There were sunflower seed shells all over the floor. As I came in and changed my shoes, she glanced at me and asked, "Where have you been these past 2 days?" I had been with Noah for the past 2 days, although nothing had happened. If my mother found out, she would definitely misunderstand. So, I lied. Oh, I was at my friend's place. She was home alone, so she asked me to keep her company. My mother looked away with a disappointed expression. She muttered, "I thought you were out with Ethan." I grabbed a broom and tried to hold back my anger. "Mom, can you please stop trying to pair me up with Ethan? There's nothing between us." She sat up and looked me over. "What do you mean? You don't like Ethan?" A wave of frustration washed over me again. I suppressed my anger and explained to her, "When you left me at the Ethan family's house, they were very good to me, but that's what you owe them, not me. Stop trying to set me up with Ethan. I'm your daughter, not a bargaining chip for your own benefit." With a loud slap, a burning pain spread across my face. I held my cheek, my head ringing. She threw all the sunflower seeds at me and screamed hysterically. "Who taught you to say such heartless things? It was the Ethan family who owed us. Your father ran away with their debt, so I had to leave you with them and go find your father." I looked at her face and felt like she was a stranger. I threw the broom down and said to her, "Who would teach me to say such things? No one taught me. My own mother left me. Who was there to teach me?" My words completely enraged her, but I didn't want to argue with her anymore. I went back to my room and started packing. My mother was still throwing a tantrum outside. She told me that if I had the guts to leave, then I should never come back. Fine, then I won't. I bought the next train ticket back to school. While I was waiting at the station, Noah video called me. I went to a corner, let my hair down to cover my face, and then answered, "Baby, I'm at a rest stop. I miss you so much." He was sitting in the car, and through the screen, he was smiling at me gently. Hearing his voice, I almost broke down. I quickly turned off the camera. He couldn't see me and started to get anxious. "What's wrong? Let me see you." I covered my mouth and tried to calm my breathing. I didn't want him to hear me crying. Noah was silent in the camera. His expression was serious. as if he was trying to see what was wrong with me through my profile picture. I didn't want him to worry. I quickly wiped away my tears, forced a smile, and turned on the camera. I'm fine, really, Noah. I just miss you a little. As soon as I said that, Noah was taken aback. Then he turned his head away, his Adam's apple bobbed. He raised his hand and wiped the corner of his eye. He suddenly laughed. Baby, you're not playing fair. I've driven 300 miles, and with just one sentence, you're making me want to go back. I was afraid he would really come back, so I quickly said, then I don't miss you. You get some rest and continue driving. I won't bother you anymore. With that, I was about to hang up, but then, a figure rushed into the waiting hall. I almost thought I was seeing things. How could Ethan have found me? When he saw me, his tense face relaxed. Chloe, why did you leave without a word? If your aunt hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known you had a fight with her. Ethan said one thing after another. He held my shoulders and brushed my hair away to see the fingerprint on my face. He frowned again. Did she hit you? I pushed his hands away and created some distance between us. Ethan, can you please stop coming to find me? My mother and I fought. Wasn't it because of him? Ethan didn't get any closer. His eyes were filled with sympathy for me. Chloe, no matter what our relationship is, don't be angry with your aunt. You mind your own business. Before I could finish, I suddenly realized the call hadn't ended. I looked down at the screen and saw Noah's unsmiling face. Noah, I've made things clear with him. Don't misunderstand. Noah suddenly smiled, as if the coldness in his eyes had never been there. He looked at me and said in a gentle voice, Chloe, honey, send me your location. Wait for me there. I always felt that Noah's smile was very dangerous. After hanging up, I tried to persuade Ethan. You should go now. I was afraid that if they met, they would fight again. Ethan let out a cold scoff. Am I afraid of him? I looked at him with a wary expression. Ethan, last time you hit him, I wasn't there. This time, if you dare to lay a hand on him, I won't let you get away with it. That little bit of arrogance in Ethan instantly vanished. He looked at me for a long time, his expression a mixture of emotions. You're protecting him. Last time, I was injured too. Chloe, you weren't like this before. Yes, in the past, no matter what. The person I sided with was always Ethan, and it was this favoritism that made him so fearless. Ethan, you know that was in the past. What's the point of always bringing up the past? Do you like him that much? Yes, I like Noah, and he likes me and respects me. Ethan interrupted me in frustration. That's enough. We're all men. What's he pretending to be so noble for? As long as he likes you, he'll want to kiss you and touch you. In his eyes, you're no different from the girls I've dated. I dug my nails into my palms. I felt that Ethan was becoming more and more of a stranger to me. Noah was not that kind of person. The night we stayed together, we had a standard room. He couldn't sleep well and woke up after a short nap. He was very honest. He said he wouldn't touch me. He would want to. So sleeping separately was the safest. I didn't even have the patience to argue with Ethan anymore. Ethan, you don't really think you like me, do you? If you liked me, you wouldn't have waited until now to have feelings for me. You just don't want to see me transfer my patience and favoritism for you to someone else. It doesn't matter if this person is Noah or not. You would still try to win me back. It's just that Noah is better than you, so it's aroused your competitive spirit. I had exposed his thoughts. Ethan's breathing was a little uneven. He said anxiously, Chloe, is that what you think of me? I glanced at the time, not sure when Noah would arrive, but he said he would come. I believe he will. I refunded my ticket. I walked around Ethan and sat on a bench outside, waiting for Noah. The winter wind was biting cold. Ethan followed me. He sat upwind, shielding me from the wind. I couldn't be bothered with him. I put on my headphones and started playing a game. Just as my phone was about to die, that black car finally appeared. Noah slammed the car door and strode towards me. Seeing his familiar figure, my heart, which was about to go numb from the cold, warmed up. I ran towards him without a second thought. Noah pulled me into his arms. His body was so warm, and that nice, bitter lemon scent. I deeply inhaled the scent that made me feel safe. I listened to his rapid heartbeat. Suddenly, a sense of longing arose. I wanted to be with Noah forever. Noah, I miss you so much. Noah stroked my hair and took my cold hand, pressing it against his own face. How did you get so cold? You told me to wait for you here. I was afraid you wouldn't be able to find me. He lowered his head and kissed my cheek. Silly girl, how could I not find you? Noah told me to wait in the car while he went to get my suitcase. As he was buckling me in, he still had a smile on his face. I glanced at Ethan, who was standing there, looking in our direction, and whispered, Noah, Can you just ignore Ethan later? Just get my suitcase and come back. Noah looked up and pinched my cheek. Don't worry, I won't fight with him. Why did that sound so jealous? I thought about it and added, I'm just afraid he'll start something again. I don't want you to get hurt. Noah raised an eyebrow and chuckled. So in Chloe's eyes, I'm that useless. I was taken aback. Wasn't he the one who got hurt last time? And after he recovered, wasn't he the one who was all pitiful and wanted me to comfort him? Noah ruffled my hair. Be good. Wait for me in the car. As he turned around, the smile on his face instantly vanished. He stared in Ethan's direction and walked towards him step by step. His aura was not that of someone going to get a suitcase. It was more like someone going to a fight. When Ethan saw Noah coming, he gripped the handle of Chloe's white suitcase tightly. Noah, I never thought you were this kind of person. Noah raised an eyebrow. Then that just means you don't know me well enough. Give me my girlfriend's things. Ethan had been waiting with Chloe for Noah for over 2 hours in the cold wind. He was already freezing. Now, hearing Noah's teasing voice, his anger flared. A ruthless glint flashed in his eyes. He deliberately asked, Does your family know about you and Chloe? Noah lost his patience and went to grab the suitcase, but Ethan wouldn't let go. Noah said, exasperated, My girlfriend told me not to fight with you. If I get hurt, she'll cry. Ethan couldn't stand his smug tone anymore. He threw a punch. Noah dodged it. From a very clever angle, from Chloe's perspective, it looked more like Noah had been hit and his face had turned away. Noah turned back and saw Chloe getting out of the car, running towards him in a panic. Noah looked away and smiled at Ethan. You're finished. That bastard Ethan. He started it again. I had never noticed he was so violent before. The thought of Noah getting hurt made my heart ache. This was a public place. If Noah fought with Ethan, it would definitely attract a crowd. It would cause trouble for Noah. So, with a loud slap, I shook my numb hand and glared at Ethan. Didn't I tell you? If you dare to lay a hand on Noah again, I won't let you get away with it. I shielded Noah behind me like a mother hen. Ethan was stunned for a full 10 seconds before he turned his head. He touched his face. He asked in a very, very soft voice, Chloe, you hit me for him. I had never been in a fight before. My palm was burning now. The fear, anger, and grievance in my heart were all mixed together. My voice choked up. Ethan, I told you, I like him very much, so no one can hurt him. No one. Ethan stared at me, dumbfounded. His eyes gradually turned red. He let go of his hand, and with a gentle push, the suitcase rolled forward. Noah reached out and stopped it. He took my trembling hand and put it in his coat pocket. Ethan, Chloe didn't mean it. She was just worried about me, and she was in a hurry. That's enough. Ethan couldn't stay any longer. He turned his back. He left without looking back. Noah hugged me. Chloe, thank you for protecting me. This is the first time someone has stood up for me so fearlessly. My girlfriend is so amazing, so brave, and her slap was so loud. My previously gloomy mood was completely gone after his few words. I wiped my wet eyes. All right, stop being so dramatic. Did he hit you? Noah immediately covered half of his face. He almost hit me, but I dodged it quickly. I remember, if I get hurt, Chloe will be heartbroken. I would never deliberately use a self-pity trick. I smiled helplessly. If he used a self-pity trick, I wouldn't feel sorry for him even if he froze to death. Hearing me say that, Noah smiled. Really? Will Chloe's eyes only be on me in the future? Will you never again? Like before, watch me with longing eyes while you watch him with longing eyes. I smiled too. Are you speaking in a tongue twister? Yes. I want to confuse Chloe and then take her home. A warmth spread through my heart. I stood on my tiptoes and kissed him. Noah, I'll go with you. Noah took me back to his apartment. As soon as we walked in, he pressed me against the door and kissed me. Because of my longing for him, I responded actively. This time, he was the first to let go. He buried his face in my shoulder and panted. Fell. You can't respond so passionately. My heart was beating so fast my head started to spin. Why? I won't be able to control myself. Noah bit my earlobe. I couldn't help but let out a soft moan. I immediately felt Noah's breathing change. I wrapped my arms around his waist. In a voice as small as it could be, I said, Noah, then don't hold back. Noah's body stiffened. He actually backed away. His face was red, and the top 2 buttons of his shirt were undone. Even his collarbone was a faint shade of pink. No, I promised to wait for you to graduate. I'm not in a hurry. He said he wasn't in a hurry, but his eyes were almost red. My mind went blank, and I blurted out, then all these years, you've never been in a relationship. How did you manage? Rarely. I saw a hint of embarrassment on Noah's face. He cleared his throat and was about to touch his nose, but then he seemed to remember something. He put his hand down with a look of disgust. Just, cough, don't ask. I smiled without a sound. Noah noticed. He suddenly scooped me up in his arms. Are you laughing at me? Shouldn't you be rewarding me? I wrapped my arms around his neck and lowered my head to kiss him. Okay, I'll reward you. After the kiss, I kissed the tip of his ear again. Can I help you? Noah's ear was surprisingly hot. He said in a deep, hoarse voice, Chloe, you said it. You can't go back on your word. In the future, if I scare you, you can't go back on your word either. If you dare to leave me, I'll cling to you no matter what. I looked into his eyes and said softly, Noah, I love you. I will never go back on my word. Snow was falling outside the window. Inside, the spring was boundless. Chloe looked at Noah's red-rimmed eyes and thought, so this is what it's like to have your love returned. So passionate, the unrequited love. I should have given up on it long ago.